Okay, so this first control looks a bit like this. We take the ace and we put it into the deck. Okay, it's nice and squared into the deck. I'm going to take a couple of pot shots. Is this your card? No, probably not. Is this your card? No. Oh, strange. This is your card, right? Now, this is a very simple card control. I've used the ace of spades with the red back, so it's easier to keep track of. What you want to do for this control, you put the card in, sticking out in the center of the deck. And you're going to push it in so that it swivels out sideways. To do this, you have to grip the deck, these corners here, on the top and the bottom with your thumb and index finger, your left thumb and index finger. Push it down so that when you push on the ace will swivel outwards. So you swivel out that card. Then you take your pinky and you stick the pinky onto the card and pull downwards and push in slightly so that you have a break. Okay? So basically you've got the deck like this. You've got a big gap between the top packet and their card. To bring their card to the top, you take everything above the break, so their card is still here, and turn it over and ask, is this your card? They'll say no. You turn over everything, the entire packet, it's no. Then you turn over just the top face-up packet, and here you have their card on top. So once again, you put it in, you push it out sideways, you get your break. You turn over the packet above, it's not their card. You turn over the entire deck, it's not their card. You turn over just the top packet, and it is their card. Next control looks a bit like this. We take the ace of spades, once again with the red back, and we put it into the center of the deck. We push it in, and I'm going to cut a couple of cards from the bottom so that we lose your card, but all that cutting has actually brought your card to the top. Now, of course, when you're performing this to spectators, you wouldn't use a card with a red back, so they wouldn't know that their card has been cut to the top. Of course, if the rest of your deck is red, then you would use a card with a red back, but anyway, this control once again uses the swivel push-in, where you hold on to the two corners and you push the card, it swivels out, and then you get a break with your pinky so that you have a big gaping hole here. And then once you've got your break with the pinky, you need to just put your thumb up onto the bottom packet and the higher part of your thumb onto the top packet, so you get something that looks like this. Of course, the audience doesn't see that, so you have your left hand free and you still have a break. Then what you have to do is you drop a couple of cards from below the break into your left hand, and you put those cards on top of the deck. Then you drop the entire packet below the break into your left hand, and you put that on top of the deck, and you have successfully controlled the spectator's card to the top of the deck. So, this next control is very deceptive. I'm using a different card that isn't different from the rest for the beginning, so you can see what it actually looks like. We have here the 7 of clubs. We're going to place it on top, and we're just going to cut it into the center of the deck. But of course, because I'm controlling it, it's still on top. Now, the way I do this, I'm going to bring the ace with the red back so you can follow. Is very simple. I have to hold the deck in this grip here, where you have your thumb on one side and then your middle and ring fingers on the other side, and you put your index on the short end facing the spectators. You have to lift it up so that there's a hole here, so that you're able to pull out the packet with your right hand from the bottom. Bring it up on top, tap it on the top packet, put it down, then pick up everything and put it down on top of it. the spectators will think you have cut the card into the middle of the deck, which is what would normally happen if you cut properly, but if you did this, it would lose in the deck. However, we're doing it differently. We're doing this, and you don't lose it. It stays on top, and the spectators think it's the same because when you tap it with it vertically, as if you're squaring it up, they lose track of which one was on top and which was on the bottom, unless they're very, very eagle-eyed. So that's the third control.
Is this your card? Now it's time to move on to the reveals.
So, here's the first reveal. This is a very powerful reveal, where you sort of get the spectator involved in a way. Basically, once you've got their card controlled on the top, what you have to do, you turn over the deck and you run through it as if you were looking for their card. You just pretend you're looking for their card. What you're actually doing is you're spelling their name from the bottom of the deck. So say their name is John. You spell John, J-H-O-N. And you have their name spelt in your hand now. Of course, they don't know that you're doing this, and they won't be expecting you to do this, which is another reason why it's so good. Once you've got that in your hand, you pretend that you weren't able to find their card. So you put the cards that you spelt their name with on top of the deck, on top of their selected card, and turn over the deck and say, okay, we're going to try something different. We're going to do it differently. What we're going to do, we're going to spell your name. And then you spell their name. So in our case it was John, so you spell J-H-O-N. And their card is going to be the next card afterwards. So, this next reveal is a very, very classic reveal. There are many ways of doing this. The basic idea is that the spectator chooses a card and then it appears face up in the deck. Now, this one here is going to use a double lift. So the basic idea of a double lift is that you pick up two cards as one. Here I have two cards, but if I hold it like this, you think you only see one card. To do this, you basically peel off from the back here 2 cards with your thumb, as if you're trying to pick it up, and you square them off on your pinky and you pick them up, and it looks like there's only one card. You need to make sure that you're bending the cards just a tiny bit so that the audience doesn't see the break between the 2 cards. And to get their card face up, what you do is you pick up the cards, you pick up a double lift, you pick up 2 cards, and you say, when I make cards appear face up in the deck, people think that what I've done is, as I pushed it in, I very quickly flipped it face up and pushed it in without them seeing that I've pushed it in face up, right? So they think I do this, and I push it in like that. Now what I've done here is, as you're talking about that, you have 2 cards here, the ace or their card, and then a random card in the deck. And as you're talking, you take your index finger and just pull down their chosen card into the packet as you're talking. So you now have their card face up, squared in the packet, and then another card out jogged in the packet, face up. And then you say, I'm not going to be turning it over face up as I pushed in. I'm going to do it differently this time. In fact, I'm not even going to touch the packet. And you ask them to tap the packet, right? They'll tap the packet, and then you can run through the packet like this to find that their card is face up in the packet. So this last reveal It's a great reveal. It also uses the double lift. I'm going to quickly show you what it looks like. We have here the 7 of clubs, which is not your card, but I'm going to make it become your card simply by throwing it through the deck. Okay, now it's your card. All we have to do for this one is pick up a double lift, which I've already taught in the previous reveal. You pick up a double lift, you say this is not your card. You put it back on top of the deck and you peel off just the first card, which is their card now, but they don't know that. Then you put down the deck, you pick up the card in this hold with the middle finger and thumb on the corner and the index on the outside of the corner, and you get ready to pick up a part of the deck. You make sure that it's facing like this, so you're able to throw it through. You have to throw it gently so it doesn't fly off the end of the table, or if you want, you can catch it in the deck with your throw. And then all you have to do is spin your hand like that and let go to make it throw, and lift up the top portion of the deck and put it back down. This will make it look like you've changed their card by throwing it through the deck. And then also, another thing you can do if you don't want to throw it through the deck is you can take the one card off the top, hold the deck in this grip here with the middle finger and ring finger on one of the short edges and the thumb on the other short edge. Take their card, slide it into the middle perpendicular to it, so facing that way while the deck is facing that way, right? And make sure it's on the top and just push it through. And it comes out the other side as their card, so it looks like the deck is a printer, sort of. You can talk about that and make that into a story as well.
So hope you enjoyed, and make sure you practice them at home so you can fool your friends or your parents. Make sure you socially distance yourselves, but once it's all over, you can do it to anyone. And if you wait for our next video, which is on forces, which is giving the spectator a card, and they have no choice over which card they get, but they won't know it.